Okay, let's see. Let's see if this works. Okay, I'm streaming on YouTube. I'm streaming on Facebook. Will I wonder if it will work on Twitch too? Hey, streaming on all sides. Let's see, let's check. Well, then I try and oh, camera is off and it's okay, that's on purpose. Properties, my photos, properties. My channel. Is it live? It's live. Oh wow, pretty impressive. That's really cool. So I'm actually live on multiple things now. Let me put my camera. Properties. Okay. All right. All right. You're right. You're righty. Oh, that's my Steam. Great. That's pretty cool. Nobody's watching it, but that's totally fine. So that's some of my camp. And in any case, I think it gets saved on YouTube, which is very low. That's the. Do you see on my stream? Do you see the branding or not? You do not see the branding. That is good. The good thing of streaming on YouTube, I'm thinking, is, and on Facebook too maybe, is that it's safe there. And I don't need to upload it afterwards, you know? Which is a good thing. Okay, so today, I'm looking at a really interesting. So basically, what happened is I was looking at should say. Let me see it. Maybe. Okay. I was looking at a monastery called Santa Radegonda, which is a smaller monastery in Milan, as always. And I'm checking my YouTube situation to see what's happening there. I have a whole two views. That's great on the YouTubes. Anyway, sorry, apologies. Why do I see if I'm live on YouTube? That's kind of strange, isn't it? Content. Live. Hey, it says here I'm live. Nice. Excellent. 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 And on Facebook, does it show anywhere? Just checking out. You know, checking out what's happening. In case, yeah, look at that. It's live on Facebook too. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Let's begin. Sorry about that. Not so much about just checking out all my streams. So the Santa Radegonda, a monastery in Milan, with two long documents. I think it's not two. Yeah, I've done everything else. Yeah, there's two long documents from my document 1, document 2, which are booklets outlining all their, I don't know if it's all, but definitely a portion of their views over, I think, 40 years, 30 years, a few years. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to not transcribe it just to see what's happening, but for my database itself, I am going to create a new table and put each as a separate entry. So that's quite interesting. And I'm quite excited about that. I'm actually at 1440p. Oh, nice. Good. Good. Okay, let's begin. So MCCLXXXXVEEE. So that's 1298. I publish, comma, domina Stepenia de Zurlig. Zurlig, Dei gratia, venerabili, venerabilissi, venerabilem, I think. Goodness, I need to figure out a good way to write this according to this description. It's not easy. Abatissa monasteri sancte Radego. Look at this N here. This probably we know the word monastery is, so it's Rade. Where Radago, line on top, N D. And then I assume an A at the end, Radegonde. Radegonde. And this goes back to the beginning here. This document might be extremely boring, but hopefully not. Hopefully not, you know? It's gonna be quite exciting. In loco foramaniam fuit expensatum ad applicandum. Oops, that misspelling. Applicandum domarum I'm not. We'll go over what this means later because I'm not quite sure yet. This is awesome though. The streaming over multiple platforms is really cool. Ubi incane hinc That's really difficult, by the way. I don't know if you're noticing that. Also, I'm interested in you know, I'm interested in getting better at clarity. Because part of the problem is also a little bit unfocused, right? I'm trying to work on this project of actually de-blurring pictures. So that's me learning a bit of image manipulation, and I'll update you guys how it goes. In anni. I don't know. I will come back to this. Olcrianus et Petrus. Maybe it's a Martino, right? Petrus Azozia, Peragogia de Cupis et Adius well, this makes sense. Et con Corgiera. The only thing I'm confused is like should be laborerus. Probably laboratus actually in it. Libre 65 tertiolarum in domo ubi habitat And it's probably a Martino or anyway, a name of some kind. Habitat grassus de it should be Vepra. Vepra is a place. I assume it's Vepra. Vapra. Prope. Propre. I read it S-O-U-M. But it should be more suum, innit? Be more suum. That's a bit odd. Interesting. And this is... I want to see... I read a Casalem, but there is an extra letter here. Casailem? Quite confusing writing here, isn't it? It. Coperto. Dominus. My eyes are closing. Ubi habitat. Or this could be just domus, right? Not dominus, but domus. Copertus. Maybe it's copertus a domus. Not a D, just a D. Grasserus de binaraigo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minims. So Binuriago could be a place. Binuriago seems to make sense to me. Binuriago prope. Sound. Oh, propre sant. Simpli cha ni u. There are so many lines on top, it gets a little bit difficult. Simpli cha. You know, my title is kind of silly because I'm actually not. Yeah, dude. I mean, practicing, because that's what I'm really doing, isn't it? Practicing paleography, and then the subtitle is views from 13th century monastery. That's really what I'm doing. Let's see if it works. Because that's actually more accurate, isn't it? Rather than using Santa Radegonda, which doesn't say anything, and if one looks on YouTube, hopefully one looks on paleography, like, oh, paleography. You know? Nice. Thing. And instead of looking at, you know. Yeah. Okay, so this could be just simply cha ni u. No, right? Like, I guess. Simplichanum, and there is no, and the abbreviation top are just for fun. They're just lying to you. Simplichanum, et alius, Danu, this is 4 minims. So is it either Damilu? Donalium? Maybe it's Donalium, Donazione. Cuius Liber 20, and there is no, we don't know what Liber are. Problem with having names of coins, by the way, that are weight, is that in a document, you end up having no idea whether we're talking about pounds of wheat or pounds of gold. Oh, sorry. That's not what I wanted to do at all. Reframe that. We are here. So now I'm not quite sure what's happening besides talking about views from certain houses. You see VS Code in the background. There it is. Great. Okay. So I guess it's clearly talking about. Oh, where actually let me door. Seems to me talking about, at least in this paragraph, it's talking about views from different houses in our area, right? This could be item. What is this? Is this an EMAT? 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 She bought. Domina Abatissa Calicem. Oh yeah, unum. Plancera Argentum. That's interesting. Similarly, she bought a chalice. What's a plancera? Let me check, look it up. Okay, that's a problem. Tamen credem et confiterent. I'll be back to the way. What am I doing? I could have done later. I said, I'm just putting a post on Reddit, but I realized I don't need to do it. I can do it later. Huh. Hey, Dr. Ba, hello. Sorry, I didn't notice you there. When you join? When did you join? Sorry about that. Oops. I was distracted. Shameful display. How are you doing? How did you find the thing on Saturday? I was looking at. I didn't have OBS open. I had it open, but not seeing it. Oopsie. I was on Reddit. Checking something on Reddit. How are you? How was your weekend? And how did you find the Saturday thing? So here we have a series of, like, a long list of purchases, I guess, from Philo Monastery. And I'm just transcribing it. I'm glad. Hopefully, I will do one a day every weekend. That would be nice. But, yeah. Oh, this is an 8 year, isn't it? Probably. It aurarum, it constitut liber 25, 20, oh, dice 25 in Latin, 25, 25? Et solidus decim tertiolarum. They bought a silver of gold and silver, the choice of gold and silver. Very interesting. Ooh, have you heard back from any of your papers you want to present at Leeds, by the way? You're not going back to me yet, which is probably a bad sign. It terrabillem. It's a bit. That's true. The deadline was last Friday, so I assume it'll take a bit to go through the submissions. Go through the submissions. I assume terrabillem is a turtle. How do you spell that? How do you spell? Non-tourable. The thing you use a mass to spread incense. Thurible. In Latin. Supposed to be thurubulum. That's basically the same spelling, isn't it? That's fine. That's good. Solid. You know, I am streaming on Facebook and YouTube at the same time right now. And Twitch, of course, as you can see. And the chat I use a program called Restream, right? And the chat that it shows you a picture as well. That's interesting. While the normal Twitch chat doesn't show your picture. Interesting stuff. Trabilem unum argentum et auratum pro liber xxi et solidus tertiolarum. Yeah, it's really cool. Nobody's watching it, but that's fine. But it's quite nice. I quite like it. Because, like, on Facebook and on YouTube, the thing stays there forever. Unlike Twitch, where it goes away after 60 days. So I don't know why I've not done this since the beginning. It's kind of silly of me. But that's okay. Et crucium. Ooh. Argentum. I think you think is this saying Argentum? Oh, what was that all about? What? Just gonna use them being invited to publish. Nice. Congratulations, that's awesome. That's really cool. Well done. Nice one. That's excellent news. Wow, that's so awesome. What are you publishing? Ooh, sends me a message. Work out tomorrow. Probably. What? Tomorrow is Wednesday, innit? Can I work out tomorrow? Tomorrow is Tuesday, innit? Yes. Tuesday. I love when the week goes by slowly. I love when you're like, the week is done already, but it's like, no, more. Between freedom and submission, the role of women in the history of the church. Holy, that's a lot. Okay, sorry. Okay. Ooh, that's that sounds a fantastic project. Who is it run by? I thought you were doing the whole thing only Matilda. I was like, that's a big thing, but no, you're assuming it's a part of the. Is it a book or is it it in an auro? That's really interesting. Aurifredum. Okay, cool. That sounds like that's not the one you sent me, right? You sent me another one on spirituality. That sounds also really cool. A bit early for me, unfortunately. This discussion like women, freedom, submission, role in the church is a really popular topic these days. I'm in a good place for my work. It's good. I mean, which makes sense, right? Because I was really surprised by how little, given that, yes, okay, like history, women history is not the oldest discipline, but it's been around pretty solidly since the 70s, right, and 60s. But like such a, I don't know, seems to me a core idea that's been explored a lot less than I thought it would be. I don't know, is that your experience too? There's a lot. I'm not saying there is nothing, of course, but there is less than you expect, given the wealth of information that is available, right? Like all these documents, this very quantitative approach to it. It's a relatively new aspect. Alice Xpin definitely is lacking part of studies in men. Well, yeah. You think that's an interesting point. Is there a lot on certainly overall, right? Of course. I'm just wondering, has there been an exploration of independence and submission of men in the same way that I am looking at independence of nuns, let's say. Is that have you encountered? I'm sure there must be something on that, right? Has that been like the dependency on society and stuff? I'm sure that's been looked at. It's more the men are seen as the default, particularly when talking about power and authority in relation to the church. Men are seen the default, but let me read it again. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. Men are seen as default, particularly when talking about power and authority in relation to the church. Yeah. So basically the idea that we talk about when we discuss power in the church, we don't really talk about men as being men from the present gender, but more that's that we ignore that aspect completely. And we do that far less on women, right? It's more an exception to talk about power and women, and therefore we must define. Is that something? And therefore we must look into defining. Oh, we're looking at women because of the gender difference, rather than how we look at men, which is like the default view on how to discuss the church politics overall. Yeah, that's very true. That's very interesting. That's very true. That's actually a really good point. That's actually a really good point. And I guess it's okay. Let me air this reflection, right? Let's talk about Catherine of Siena, Saint Catherine of Siena. Or even of Matilda of Canossa, right? It's almost we I don't study Catherine of Siena, but when you hear about her, or when you talking about Matilda of Canossa, it's almost a must that we must say, okay, look, women did things, right? And that's still a surprise, and that's still a novel point. But it shouldn't necessarily. It shouldn't be, right, and it hopefully will stop being a novel point. Now we can move beyond that kind of first conclusion, and we already do, of course, move beyond that. Do you see what I'm saying? Well, like the first thing almost always is surprise point. Like, oh wow, no, they weren't just doing nothing all the time, huh? They were significant in society, weird. Shouldn't be, but we are having to work backwards to unlock all the big general stuff. Yeah. Cool. That's a really good point, and I'm really curious what it will be like, right? How the perception of society and therefore the studies on it will develop once you have unpicked that, right? Like something that fascinates me, for example, is I hope in my work I will talk a lot about families, right? Husband and wife's relationship, and especially relationship towards land and an economy overall of the family, right? Which I think is very interesting, and it's not necessarily a novel topic, but it's not super covered either, because the sources on women acting in economy are not that frequent. And yeah, and part of the initial part of my argument, of course, is unlocking this thing, right? Saying, look, the sources tell us a lot about what a wife was doing, right? Or what a daughter was doing, or a mother was doing. I'm curious to explore the relationship between husband and wife, even when the wife is not explicitly mentioned. And it'd be interesting, because that's a in medieval society, right? And that's probably hard to explore. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I've not really tried very hard. But it seems to me that that must be a very important reality. As in any couple, right? It seems to me foolish to assume, oh, the man was in control, blah blah blah. That's it. That's what we need to look at. Well, if there is, besides the legal aspect, there must have been a common influence between the two, and measuring that or discussing that, exploring that. What is the influence of a wife on the husband when managing the family, managing the economy of the family, right? What does that look like? That's something that very, very much interests me overall. And my sources help me in that a little bit, because of course I see the participation, but it's quite hard to see, and that's a big problem of our medieval sources. Sometimes they kind of hide, or either are written by men, which tend to diminish other people's support in their life, um, uh, or they just hide that completely. Hmm. Yeah. Something I'm thinking on, and this, the way and this, I guess, yeah. Going back to the point of like having to stay women did something, it's not obvious that they acted right, but it is once you look at the fact that they must consent to this a sale, and they are present document of signing it. They must have knowledge of what's happening, right? It would be strange if they didn't. And working from there, if the wife had a vested interest in the whole of the state, because actually in Lombard law states that at the death of the husband, the wife has a right to a fourth of all his lands, of all his possessions, right? And there are caveats in that, and therefore she has a right to oversee any sales, any alienation of land he does beforehand, right? Because she's a right of a fourth of all of it, and she's a claim to a fourth of all of it. She's a claim to all this, to a fourth even of the sales that is done. And that's fascinating, because it means that there was that interaction throughout. There was the interest of both sides on the whole estate. not just on a dowry of the wife, right? That's something I find very interesting that I've touched upon in my master thesis. I need to find more on, but yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, my musings. Lombard law and its evolution. Because then, sorry, I'm boring you here, but anyway, it's my stream. I can talk. Because there is the whole thing of Lombard law. It's a very contentious topic. And having two so true previous historians biased towards men. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. MCC LXXXBEE. A bit like the guy that was like, Matilda, just a joke. The Crusader Matilda. That kind of bias. What are the most subtle what are the most subtle examples of it? Because that's very big in it. That's just clear bias. That's very limiting. What are more subtle examples of that? Item. I think it is Amit. I think it's actually Amit. I'm confident in this. I would say it's Amit. It's Amit. Dicta domina abatissa in loco maconago a more subtle example is insisting that women patronage revolves solely around increasing individual personal piety. Ooh, that's a sneaky one. Basically denying or subtly denying any involvement they could have had in economic society. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a big assumption, and it's a very wrong, clearly. How common is this now? There's a good doctor that I followed. She made a good one, participating in the women's Noble Women Network, medieval, whatever that one. She was arguing. She was showing how a few patrons from Champagne were using donation to manage their estates. Not assume anymore, but this is an underlying thing. That's a very interesting. It's very interesting. Huh. Isn't the evidence against that very stark, very clear? Maybe it's not. As clear as I think it is. Ah, pina, non pera. Aniocco. Like, even looking at Loco Matilda very clearly, it feels like it now because we're not at a generation for the fucking. Makes sense. That's a really good point. That's a really, really good point. And I guess it's a hopeful point as well, right? Yeah. Very good point. Very, very good point. You know what drives me a bit crazy sometimes? This perception of medieval times as a monolithic, stupid society, right? That's so annoying. That concept of like, yeah, bunch of literal idiots, like, yeah, hey, or that idea, right? Like, yeah, what the woman did was clearly just patronize the church. because it's so overall any statement that puts together a whole century or 5-6 centuries of humanity into a, and this is how the world they all were, right? And this is how this class all was, or this group all was. Both now, but even more medieval times, it's always been like clearly each person is different and unique, and that was true 600,000 years ago as it is now. Why do you assume? Why do we assume that a whole class acted in the same way, or even that, or to be honest, same true now, right? That a whole political group, let's say, thinks in the same way. Philus, not Philus. I think that's a very dangerous assumption. Paleatam it Cassinellam. What is this Cassina? Are we talking about like an actual what's it called, barn? Palle Ceren? I assume that's balls of wax. Cerentis. Ooh, no, this cannot be cementis, can it? Tenentis, maybe it's tenentis, that's better. Secundanube. Today, on a different topic, today I did my first class on tutoring, which was very interesting. And the first part was marking essays. Yeah, it was fine. It was good. I mean, it was a training, right? So it was very very general because it's a general for all history students, history GTAs. In January, I think I'll have the more specific, course specific ones. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited about it. I'm excited about marking essays. I'm really excited about teaching, trying different methods. See. Yeah, right. It's basic enough. It's nice. They pay for it, so it's okay. I'm really interested in how class managing will be. I'm really curious on that. Because I always struggled in seminars to feel that when I was doing, like when I was a student, I often struggled to feel the discussion and the rich conversation that could happen, right? And that's supposed to happen, and they're telling you that's what the seminars are for. Because in Glasgow, the idea of seminars is very much, and probably was same in New York. It's like, it's not so much a teaching class at all, it's more, we are looking at sources, let's discuss them from an historical perspective, their usefulness, their limitations, relation to the readings, and talk about them, right? And exchange different ideas on it, and expand our understanding of history through that. And I never felt it in my seminars when I was taking them. So I wonder how to do it, right? In domo Ilius monasteri et pro. Barfagna! Oh, welcome. By the way, Barfagna, if you want to follow me on Facebook, I made a Facebook account for the stream. Not that you need, because you already look on Twitch. But if you're interested, if you look at Olivan Paleography on Facebook, you will see my face. Actually, you will see a manuscript because I have terrible thumbnail. And that's it. Oh, by the way, Dr. Bhatt, your interview went up on YouTube, right? I don't know if you looked at it. Hopefully, it's now HD. Sorry about that. I need to learn how to do editing because the beginning is a little bit rough. It's solidus. How are you, Barfagna? How was the gym? Item expensaud. Okay, okay, maybe you worked a bit too hard. That is random. But what, good job going. What was the hardest exercise you did? Stratum? It's not resonando, me reso... Maybe it is resonando. Strata sancti simplicia... Num... Nice. Nice and nice. Everything is a struggle. Until it's level... What? Oh, the letter itself? Or... I'm sure that the degree is not. Okay, okay, okay. God, that would be so bad. Sure, send a pic. Send a pic on the Discord. So, but now everything is killing you. That's not good. Dying is not good, you know? Dying is negative. Viper decem tertiolarum. They send you on the screen. That would be embarrassing. That would be bad. That would be really bad. I don't have any more water in the bottle. That was a really sad water drinking, to be honest. I must say. A little bit depressing. And some guy with message out there just for a PhD. Under a wrong name. That would be very bad. Cell 40 quos solvat respiteri sancti simplicianum. What about school, Bacana? Have you started your history classes yet? How is it? Also, you didn't come on Saturday, man. I was waiting for you. Sad. I had a whole teaching thing going on there. You have more for last 10 minutes. Yeah, how is the history class? How is that? Look, VS Code. Yay. VS Code is really good. There are 6 languages, only 6. Like literally different families. That's a lot. Wow. Which one? Where are they? It was also a whole gigantic continent, right? That's a lot, actually. That's more than expected. Oh. That's certainly miscommunication hard. Let's let us be old. University of New York. The degree of Doctor of Philosophy in History of Art was conferred upon Blair Lindsay Apgar, Wentworth College, on the 25th day of August 2021. This is in English. What happened to the Latin version of it? You guys don't get your stuff in Latin? Oh man, that's sad. That's a shame. We got our degrees in Latin, man. It was nice. That's awesome. Well done. Congratulations. Those are now officially a Doctor of History. Yeah. Oh yeah, you don't know, did you? No, she's not. She's in medicine right now. What are you? Any luck in going to New York, by the way? Perfect. No. MCCLXXXVEE. No, I'm working on Doctor Bot. Sorry. My I like the shock in your voice, Doctor Buffering. No. It's like, what? I have been betrayed. I don't know why the list stopped working. That's kind of weird, actually. Let's try again. Why is it? God, I hate Ford sometimes, man. Item, domino, dono. Well, I'm gonna show this edit. It's gonna show all the degrees on stream. President, professor, and trustees. Oh, trustees of New York University, in all persons to whom this writing may come, greeting. Be known that we, in recognition of the successful completion of the requisite course of study in our Graduate School of Arts and Science, by virtue of authority granted us by the Charter of the State of New York, do confer upon Blair Lindsay Apgar the degree of Master of Arts, with all the rights, privileges, and immunities thereunto appertaining. What immunities do you get? In witness whereof we have caused this diploma to be signed by the duly authorized officers of the university and sealed with our corporate seal in the city of New York, May 2014. What? What? You never heard the thing? What the heck, man? Oh, by the way, funny story, Dr. Bob. When my fiancée saw your picture, like, yeah, that's what I thought she would look like. That's like nice, nice. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I should not have done what I've done just now. Is it bad? Should I delete that from recording? Like when I read out your name and stuff. Unrado Abati. Okay, sorry, but I that was I apologize for that though. That wasn't. I didn't think that through. Good thing that we're not a popular stream yet. That is true. You do exist. At worst, I'm giving you advertisement for publications if you want to hire a artist or Dionixi et Socium Deputatis at Collegendum. Yeah, I'm working on. I don't know if I told you much, but I'm working on this. I want to try to create a program that reads documents, a bit of an OCR for medieval script. So I'm learning some bit of that. It would be cool. Like I'm now in the place. I started a couple of weeks ago learning Python. Now I'm at a place where I can start looking at tutorials on how to do image editing and like, character recognition and stuff. So I'm quite excited about that, to be honest, because that would be really cool. That would be really cool. Kind of defeat my work here, but that's fine. This is not my work. I mean, it wouldn't really. need to rebuild with it to confirm and stuff. Done? What the heck is this word? What is this? What is this? Helen Border, Ross, Deals. Am I a veteran? I'm not a veteran. This seems spam. This seems a little bit like spam. I want to check a little bit of its abbreviation. Let's see what we get. Cappelli. Ah, the Sicilian guy didn't come today. That's quite sad, actually. Oh well. Oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well. Neither both Elizard or the guy that was there on Saturday. Let's see. PP. Yesterday. Why? What's wrong with Giuseppe? I love it. That's a good response. Good response. B Barpagna, how is your cooking going? Give us updates. Anything exciting being cooked by you? Some chicken and rice yet? You're becoming buff. You're becoming buff bugnut rather than barf bugnut. Buff bugnut. That's a good name, by the way. You should really consider that. Okay, I'm looking for the abbreviation of this PP. What do we have? We have... Does this show this? Yes, it does. Right, excellent. Oh, good. What are you doing? What's the situation? You're not putting on the anger? Imger? You're scared of the comments? What is the propter? Maybe propter or propter actually. Like this guy? What do you think? Is this similar enough to this? Ah. My fiance thinks I'm quite judgmental in regards to food. I think she's right. Maybe it is Proctor, right? What do you think, Dr. Bot? Could this be Proctor? Oh, God, that looks disgusting. Ooh. 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 It's a bit scary, dude. Thank you. Yeah, don't do that. Also, why do you not do it yourself? That takes shorter to do than to buy it on the shop. Tomato, basic garlic? Garlic? Come on. Okay, you know how to make a normal tomato sauce, right? But it's called Great Value. That's true. God. Solutionis. Liber. I'm also burning you. I shudder at you. Dati. No. What is that? So to make a done, it's gone. Oof. To make okay, apart from that, quick recipe, right? Just for you, just for now, and then I need to go. You were the chosen one, Barcelona. You were the chosen one. So you get your tin tomatoes. No, but no, Doctor, but don't say that. Don't encourage him. It's worse. I'm joking. Probably it's mildly better. That's true. Tin tomatoes, onions, stock. That's what we need to make a sauce, right? But this is cheaper. This is cheaper to make. I think it's cheaper if you buy your own tin tomatoes and onions and your stock than buying the store bought. How much you pay for that, Brafana? For that great value. So then what you do, Brafana, you fry your onions with a bit of oil. Yeah. Let them golden slowly. Just smells fantastic. And then, I know you know this, but I'm repeating, you clearly forgot. Then after you fry your onions, add the tin tomatoes. And the stock. Cover it. Five minutes, it's ready. In the meantime, you boil your pasta. Done. That's how you make the same thing you bought, but like in the letter. That's a good point, Doctor. Now you that making a good. But you know, a tip, small tip. Make a big batch on Sunday or something when you have free morning, a weekend. Let it go while you work, because you don't need to sit around. You can work, right? You can just let it be, do your work. That's what I do, generally speaking. Chill them, work away, and then you have like. What my mother does, she puts it into small pots. Yes. Yeah, exactly. You don't need it, you know, if you want to eat it over the week, you don't even need to freeze it. You have your 5 pots of ragu, and every day, poof, 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 poof. But this is how you make tomato sauce. It's very hard. Anyway, not to be patronizing. I believe in you, but for now. Yeah, you just have just make lots of it and then save it. You know? Do you have this saved for now, or you need this recipe? Is this new for you? It's not new. I spoke about this before, right? Someone is cooking close to me. It smells fantastic. Yep. And you're probably saving money too. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a beautiful day. Who's coming tomorrow? Is Idris coming tomorrow? Yeah, man, you can freeze most things you make fresh. Even if you make fresh pasta, you can freeze it too. Who am I seeing tomorrow? Not you, Dr. Butt, because you're working. Become a train. And you can just sing happily that you're a train. On a truck. You're a train. You're a train. You're a train. You're a truck, a train, yeah. Who do I see tomorrow? None of you, neither of you, right? Probably. That is fine. I will now go. So I need to go to the toilet and get to my meeting at 6. Prepare for that. Yeah. Alright, great stuff, guys. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye. See you.